This morning we had another meeting of our House Task Force that is looking into sexual discrimination and harassment. We had the Human Rights Commission in this morning, an attorney, administrative law judge, and they discussed a very detailed process as to how victims interact with that commission and how a complaint moves through the process. They had a couple of recommendations, even though it seems like it's a pretty thorough process so far. And one of the recommendations that came forward, that pretty loud and clear, is that a victim only has a certain amount of time, 180 days, to bring their complaint forward. In some other discrimination complaints, that's a year. You can look at a longer time period. And I think what we're finding with sexual harassment and discrimination sometimes is the victim is hesitant to come forward. And so if they come forward after that 180 days, it's very difficult by statute for the commission to look at that complaint and review it and have it go through the process. So that seemed very clear to me that that's one area of the law that we need to probably extend that window for the complainant to come forward. I think the other thing that I made a point in the task force meeting this morning, that it's time for us to hear from some folks from the legislative branch. One of our charges on the task force is to look at all the different processes that currently exist for sexual harassment and discrimination. And one thing that we haven't heard from yet is the legislative branch. So I made it clear to the chair and the other members of the task force that I think we need to hear from folks from the legislative branch sooner than later to learn about the process and figure out if they have recommendations on how we need to improve that process as well. We'll continue to have task force meetings here throughout the spring session, and we'll keep you posted. I'm State Representative Sarah Jimenez, and I represent the 99th District.